Hello, Ferouz, are you there?
Yes, hi Alan. How are you?
I am doing great. It's wonderful to see you again.
Yeah, wonderful to see you. I'm so excited. How is your family?
We are all good. Yeah, everyone's doing well. Joni
Ha,
can't be here. She went to visit her mom. She's helping her get ready for the Christmas break. So
oh, nice. How is Sasha?
Sasha is doing well. She's upstairs sleeping. So she has a big hockey game today. So we don't have school on
Yeah,
Saturday, so she's sleeping in.
yeah, great.
Yes.
How are you yourself? Was everything safe? Your trip back to your Vermont?
Yep, it was great. Yep, we had a wonderful trip back. So yeah, and how are things
Thank
at the
you.
university? Have you defended your doctorate yet? Did you have to
No, it will
defense?
take time, but I had pre-defense
Okay.
a seminar. Yeah, more about 30 professor, teachers, doctors participated, a lot of questions, but it was successful.
Oh,
Thank you.
good.
And
Yeah.
I'm using your recommendation for the final part.
Oh,
I'm
good.
saving it
I hope it helps. Yeah.
as
Is
a as a as a kind of a arm for them.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
good.
So
It was what you needed. It's what you hoped it would say.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
thank you. Yes, exactly. It will take time and it's online. They will send special papers and it takes kind of some time.
Sure.
While ministries, special ministries, attestation committee, they confirm it will take time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, by the end of January, I will defense.
Well,
But
that's great.
inside myself, I really like now to to do it quickly. Yes.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, just be done with it, right?
Yeah. Your voice, have you had a cold a little bit?
No, it may just be where I'm sitting, how I'm sitting. I'm doing okay. No. So it may
Yeah,
just sound a little deeper over the computer too. So, nope,
yeah.
still healthy. It's cold here. It's probably what, -5 Celsius this morning. So we're chilly.
Oh,
Yeah.
chilly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
a little,
cold here too.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't have any snow
It's
yet though. We keep waiting for snow.
yeah, we do too. We love snow, but no snow. It's extremely cold.
Yes.
Last Saturday, Sunday, Firuzbek came. Yeah,
Oh,
we talked about you from Washington D.C. with Karina. He visited
okay.
uh, Fulbright program is something. She's Karina Kenner something. I forgot. It was. She said that. Oh, it's not cold for me, but in Hiva it was. I think they got a little bit frostbitten
Yeah.
because it was too cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the evening or during lunchtime, we tried to warm them. Yeah,
Well,
hope
that's
they really liked.
well, good. I'm glad Firuzbek got there. I didn't get a chance to see him in Tashkent. He was too busy, so I haven't seen him in 3 years. But
Yeah, we told we just adore you and we really like to continue you. And my friend in Nukus, she's also access coordinator, Dina.
uh-huh.
Next year, she's ready. Yeah, she's ready to collaborate with us.
Oh, good.
And
Okay.
we really like this training for the next year as well, Alan,
Okay. Is it
if you don't mind.
Did Farouz seem interested in continuing?
Yes, yeah, we talked.
Well,
And she
good.
said, yes, why not, Dinapa? And I said to him that we really like with Nukus as well. Nukus is kind of a Karakal Pakistan Republic,
Yeah.
and she's like me, Dinapa, like next Feruza, energetic.
Ah, well,
Yeah,
that's exciting to hear. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yep.
and we already started when you left, yes, on Sunday. We did in Nukus. on 26th. We did NEGA activities,
I
NEGA
saw some
project
of the
activities.
pictures. Yeah, it looked like it
Yeah,
went
yeah.
really well. Yeah,
Yes, yeah. We did teachers, Gulnur, Dilfuza, they shared and I shared some activities and butterfly activity as well. They
that's
just
great.
loved it.
All right. Well, I can see I've got Dilafruz and Mohira and Dilfuza. Welcome. Hope you can hear
Mhm,
us. Akbar is
mhm,
here. Outstanding. We'll probably
mhm.
give folks a few minutes to kind of log in and we'll see how many we get. I don't know. It could be a small group, it could be a big group, right? No telling. But I hope everybody's
Yeah,
doing well on your Saturday. It's a nice
yeah,
Saturday morning here in Vermont. Saturday night in Uzbekistan, right?
yeah. Yes, Saturday night.
Yeah. All right. I see Elvira just came on. Good. Hopefully everybody can see me loud and clear. See me or at least hear me. And I assume, Dilafruz, it looks like you're probably on a cell phone. Is that right? Is that a cell phone? I'm just trying to guess from the size of the picture as it comes across how people are connecting. Yep.
Is Dilafroz from Samarkand?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. You are at a wedding party. That's so funny, Dilaf. I can't believe you're coming from a wedding party.
You see, you're they
That
love all of these classes.
that is
Yeah,
commitment
yeah,
from a wedding party. That
yeah.
but I please hope you enjoy your wedding party. Please, there is nothing I could do with that would be as fun as a wedding party. Not even close. All right. So good. And Mohira, yep. So my chat is working. I've got my chat up and running. Okay. And I usually on a Zoom call, I wait about 3 minutes and then I'll kind of start what I'm going to do. And I thought I'd show you some new stuff. So, and Dilafruz, if you want to take us out on the dance floor, feel free. I feel like dancing tonight. All right. Well, good evening. Good evening. And I'm going to try to share my screen. I'm hoping that sharing screen works. Okay. So let me try this. Okay. And so I'm curious if you see my screen because even when I do Zoom, I like to do energizers and things. And so
Huh?
this
Yes,
this is an
we can see.
energizer I do online all the time with my students. It's one of their favorites. It's thinking about if you had a superpower, if you were like somebody if you were Superman or whatever superheroes are popular, would you want to be able to fly? Would you have super strength? Would you be invisible? Would you be super stretchy, like a rubber band, stretch yourself out? X-ray vision so you could see through things, laser eyes that could burn somebody up. That doesn't sound very pleasant, but that is definitely a superpower. And what I ask people to do is put it in chat while we kind of wait for other people to show up on a Zoom. So I'm curious if any of you have ever wanted a superpower. And if you want, you can unmute and tell us too. That this is a talking seminar, so we're very open to people talking out loud, but chat also works. Mine would be flight. I want to fly. I wish I could, because then I could do this. I could just fly over to Uzbekistan and have this session right now. Akbar, traveling maybe. Okay, the ability to time. Would that be time travel? Like go back in history or in the future or travel anyway? Because superpower travel would be awesome. Yep, time travel. I get it. That would be cool. There's some funny movies about that. Yeah, some of my favorites. All right. Anybody else have a superpower they wish they had or that of that list? Enlightened English. Teaching is a superpower, Faruza, and I do think you have it. I think you have that superpower.
Mhm.
Yep.
Thank
But
you.
a superpower where you could automatically learn any language would be cool, wouldn't it? Where
Yeah,
suddenly
yeah,
you'd meet somebody new and you could just automatically communicate with them. That would be amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. And looks like we've got 11 people online. Anybody else willing to share what you would do for a superpower? Just kind of for our energizer to start. Oh, Mahira says she'd be invisible. That would be scary. That would scare me, I think. But it would be powerful to actually go invisible and go anywhere you want. And yeah, learning other languages, switching quickly. Yep, that would be a cool superpower for Ruza. Yeah. Teleportation, flying. Oh, I love it. Yep, I've got a fellow flyer. Yep. But being able to teleport, that's kind of even better than flying, right? Just boom, I'm somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to move on beyond that and get to there and just tell you kind of what's Joni's not here today. So wanted to show you where she is. And so
Oh,
this is kind of, if I don't know if you know a map of the United States, but this is what we call New England, the Northeast. And so
uh-huh.
we live here in Vermont, and Joni is from a town in, we call this upstate New York. New York City would be down here, but New York's a big state. So this is upstate New York. And this is her mom. This is a picture she took last night because she bought her mom pizza. So she's there visiting, having a good time with her mom and helping her get ready for Christmas break because very soon our whole family will go and visit. Anna is my mother-in-law's name, and it takes a lot of work to get ready for Christmas. So she's helping get ready all the gifts and all the decorating and cleaning the house and all that. So Joni is not with us. I told her we would give her a pass this one time, but she has to be on next time. So that's where she is.
Thank you, Alan. Are you also spent much more money for decoration of Christmas?
We do
I
spend
see.
money. Yep. It's kind of people put money to try to make their houses look nice and
Yeah.
a lot of money on gifts, kind of like for New Year's. So lots of gift giving and yep, that's kind
Oh,
of our tradition here in the United States. Yeah.
yeah. Great tradition. Yeah.
Yep.
But I loved decorations of outside houses. Yeah. How
Yes.
it was fascinatingly beautiful.
Yeah, people
Like,
put a lot of time and money. We have lights outside our house, but I'll have to take a picture and share it. I will take that so you can see what the outside of we have a big tree that I have lights on. Yeah. And I'm back busy teaching at school. So I've been in school for 8 days now. And this is pictures from my third and fourth graders. So these are 8 and 9 year olds that I was teaching yesterday. And we take our Edison robots and I hook pens to them and they code them so they can do drawing with them. So these are robotic artists that were in my classroom yesterday. That was a pretty fun lesson. And students really like that. It's kind of a neat thing to do. And Sasha is busy applying to colleges, but the big thing that's taking her time right now is lots of hockey. So she's a hockey player. And so as soon as she came back, we literally landed from the airplane at 3 o'clock and she was on the ice at 4 o'clock practicing with her hockey team. And they have their first game this afternoon in a town about an hour away, a town called Middlebury. So she'll have a big game this afternoon. And all the schools have sports teams here. That's kind of a US tradition, is students play for their high school. So all the high schools around Vermont, they have hockey teams and basketball teams and soccer teams, and it's a big part of school culture in the United States. Yep. So that's kind of where our family is at. And what I wanted to do with you was give you a conversation. Every time I did a webinar, I wanted to give you kind of a new activity that you might want to try in your classrooms. So this is called Would You Rather? And it can be played on Zoom. It works pretty well on Zoom, where you'll have choice 1 or choice 2. I really like to play it in a classroom where I have the students go to a side of the room. So the left side of my room might be choice 1. The right side of my room might be choice 2. And as you'll see, they're simple little things, but they get students learning about each other. And so here's an example that we'll do, and you can just put your answer in chat. So, would you rather have purple hair or no hair? Okay. And I literally make my students there's only 2 choices here. You pick choice number 1, purple hair, or choice number 2, having no hair. And it can be very quick, but it's kind of fun. Students go to their side of the room, and it is a tough question. Yep. They're all tough questions. They're intentionally, sometimes they're really silly, sometimes they're really funny. It's a great way to practice vocabulary, because my follow-up question would be why, and asking if somebody could explain it. And that's a lot of talking. That could be a complicated concept. Okay, so I'll give folks, looks like we're having a lot of purple hair I'm seeing. Okay. Akbar would go for no hair. He's okay with being bald. Okay. Gomer, I like that unusual and funny purple hair. I have a student with purple hair. She dyed her hair and she loves having it purple. So I guess I won't make fun of purple hair because it's one of my students, but all right. So here's another one, just to give you some examples of it. Would you rather have a pet skunk? And a skunk, if you don't know, you could do this with any animal, but a skunk is a really stinky animal. If it sprays, it smells awful. Or a porcupine, and porcupines are really prickly. You can't hug them. They have spikes in them. One time my dog got in a fight with a porcupine and it ended up with needles all over her face. We had to pull him out. So curious, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a pet skunk or a pet porcupine if you had to choose? And those are the only 2. You don't get a cat or a dog. You just got to make a choice. Which is the better of the 2? Curious to see if anybody has a choice. Oh, okay. We've got a couple porcupines. Yeah. Prickly beats stinky, huh? Oh, good. Elvira goes for the skunk. I thought we'd have somebody who didn't like prickly, because at least a skunk you could kind of hug if it liked you. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll show you a few others. Here are a few other options you could use. Okay. Would you rather eat every meal with your hands or eat every meal with chopsticks? If you had to do one or the other, would you eat with your hands or eat with chopsticks? Yep. I imagine I've eaten plof with my hands. I think that and I'm not good with chopsticks. Although some people really like chopsticks. Okay. Sabahat would go for chopsticks. All right. Yep. Can't use chopsticks. I'm with you, Akbar. I got to eat with my hands. I'd go hungry. It would be a good life. I would lose weight that way because I'd work so hard to get my meal. But oh, it looks like we're split about 50-50. Okay. All right. Well, this whole PowerPoint I put into the website. So you can have this. I'll show, we won't do all of them because this activity could go on quite a while, but I'll just show you some of the other choices that you could think of that you could do if you wanted to do something like this to build relationships in your classroom. So here's some of the others that we'll just kind of quickly go through and you can just think about. You don't need to put anything in the chat. Okay. Would you rather listen to accordion music for a year or only eat fruit for a year? I like to give kind of unique choices that somebody just, it's like, whoa, I never thought of that. Okay. Here's another one. Would you rather have a tail or have horns? Okay. Couple options there. Here's another one. Would you rather sing instead of speak or always speak in rhymes? If you had to choose that. Okay. Would you rather wrestle one bear or wrestle 3 orangutans? Okay. And again, I'm whipping through them. I appreciate I'm seeing people put it in chat. I'm just going to kind of show you the options rather than let us kind of build relationships on them. Would you rather live in Antarctica or live in the Arctic? So you could do all kinds of geography. As you can see, I've kind of mixed in some of those STEM concepts, even with my relationship builder. And so it could be vocabulary. Would you rather swim or fly if you were doing vocabulary with your students? There's lots of things you could do there. Kiss a cobra, pet a tiger. Okay, building vocabulary on those animals that we went through. Have your own zoo or have your own theme park or fun park. Okay, eat a worm or eat 12 sardines. Eating things are kind of, yeah, it's like, oh, I don't really want to do either. Okay. And then maybe one of my favorites, visit a faraway solar system or visit the bottom of the ocean. What's a unique, crazy trip you would rather do? Okay. And in the slide deck, the last one I actually set up so that you could make your own if you want to do them with your students. So you could go to the website, download this, project it on your screen, and or it can just be out loud. Doesn't have to. Sometimes I'll just do this from note cards. I won't do anything fancy. All right. So with that, I'm going to stop my screen share and just kind of get a look at all the wonderful folks I get to see. I haven't seen you in a while, so it's nice to see faces again. And just kind of put that out there as what we wanted to do on these Saturday sessions was share ideas, and then we'll continue to put them in the website. Okay. So wondering if anybody had a question or a comment about would you rather. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you think that might be something you could use in a class. Could that potentially work in your class? I guess I should have you Shaka if you thought.
Shaka.
Yeah, Shaka. It's really good activity for students giving choice and expressing their what they prefer and what are their likes, dislikes.
Yeah.
I really like this activity.
Yeah, and I especially like it when they have to move. When you're face to face and kind of everybody's in the room, and you can have more than 2 choices if you wanted. You could have 4 corners of a room. Okay, if there were multiple choices. So it's just a neat kind of way to kind of get them, they learn who likes things. A lot of times I'll do it, who likes vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream? Something as simple as that. And suddenly they have something to kind of talk about. It's like, oh, and it's really interesting when only 1 or 2 students like something, because then that raises some conversations. So, all right. Well, yes, please.
And also it creates own opinion. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It gets that brain working and thinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that, Rejona. Thanks for sharing that. Yep. Any other thoughts or comments anybody wanted to share? All right. Well, I have a new book for you. Unfortunately, I can't give it. I wish I could stick it through my webcam and give you another present to put in your bag, but I do have a PowerPoint of it and a slide deck of it, so you'll be able to use it. So let me go and show you that, and I'll walk you through this book the way I would do it with my students. So let me go here. Okay. So share that screen. Whoops, let's see. Let me stop my screen share for a second. And sorry, little out of practice doing this. So I'm gonna share my whole screen. Okay. And now I should be able to end that one. Go here. There we go. All right. So let me go. So this is a simple book called Not a Box. Okay. That little stamp, that silver stamp in the upper corner is books in the United States are given special awards. And so this is a book that got a special award about 3 years ago. It's a relatively new book, but really simple book, not a lot of language. And it's a book called Not a Box. Okay. And so this is adapted for the screen. I'll show you, I have a video of it as well that's more kind of the book itself, but it's basically a picture and words on each page. And so on this page, the question is, why are you sitting in a box? It's not a box. What are you doing on top of that box? It's not a box. Why are you squirting a box? I said, it's not a box. Now you're wearing a box? This is not a box. Are you standing around in that box? It's not a box. Well, what is it then? It's my not a box. And that's the end of that story. Okay, really straightforward, simple story. I like it because it has that idea of getting kind of thinking. The phrase we use is outside the box, so it's kind of, oh, okay. And as you can see in each picture, if I go back, you know, the artist has taken a picture and simply expanded into something from the imagination. So this box becomes a car. This box becomes a mountaintop. This box becomes a building on fire that the rabbit is saving. This box becomes a robot. And this box becomes all kinds of things, all kinds of adventures. Okay? And then it becomes a rocket. Okay? So the content conversation that I like to connect with the students is oftentimes my students are learning this would be younger students, say 3rd or 4th graders, in their math class, they might be learning geometric figures. Okay. Could be simple figures, triangles, rectangles, squares, and circles, but could be complicated shapes, hexagons, pentagons, octagons, multi-sided spheres, semispheres, cylinders, cones. Doesn't matter what the shape is. And pulling that into your language class, those are words that are really good to know in words. So you could pick a word And this slide is just kind of the thinking slide for you. But here's the activity I would like to do with you just real quickly. Is imagine you put this slide up on the screen and just ask somebody, why are you standing on a circle after you've read this book? Okay, so this is not a circle, it's a, okay?
Round.
And I don't think we need to necessarily, we could go and have you do all kinds of drawing and kind of creating or something. But what I'm curious about is just with your imagination, and you could either do this live or in the chat, what would you turn this into? I see it's a ball, okay? It's round, okay? Could you turn it into something if you were to have some, what's the craziest thing you could think of that this circle could become a sphere? Okay. A bike. Yeah, I love it. Suddenly you could build and expand and have a whole bicycle, right? It's not a circle, it's a bicycle. It's a world, exactly. I kind of saw that one. I draw the continents on there, right? It's the moon, it's the sun. Yep. I'm getting a buzzing from somebody's computer. A little bit. It's a globus, yeah. The Earth. It's an elephant. I love that. That would be cool. Yep. Turn it into an elephant riding on the back of an elephant. Yeah. What other wild things do you think your students might turn that into? Okay. I'm going to stop sharing and see if that helps, because I think a few people were trying to share out loud. A tennis ball, maybe? Okay. And one thing that might help if you're not trying to share, if you could hit mute, and that way we're not going to get feedback from everybody's computer. So I can even, okay. But I've seen tennis ball, maybe. Okay. Apple that Newton hit. Yeah. You could do this whole story about Newton. That would make a cool story about that ball and that. A rolled cat. That's cool. I didn't see a cat. I like that idea. Okay. Cool. Well, anybody else? Okay. Well, let me share my screen again, and let me show you where a couple things are in case you want to go grab them. Okay. So I'm going to share Chrome, share that. Okay. So I'm in the STEM for Learning website now. And if you go to it, you'll notice it's starting to look a little different. I'm working with our web developer to change it a little bit, but the homepage still looks like this. Okay. But soon I'm going to have this whole set of resources here. I'm actually spending the afternoon today developing that. Okay. But if you scroll down, okay, so a couple things are gone. But if we go to the resources page, on the resources, okay, when you scroll down here, you'll see there's a video right here, and Not a Box has a video lesson there. Okay. So you can now find, if you want to do this as a video, okay. The other thing that's right here is the Would You Rather Energizer activity. So if you wanted to download that, that's a PowerPoint set of slides. Okay. And so we can go to that, and you can find those there. Okay. I'm also going to add some other things here as we're going on that'll hopefully organize that a little better. Okay. Let's stop my share. And let's see. All right. So that was the first things. Those are the lessons I kind of wanted to share with you. And that's how I see us kind of doing a Saturday session is I'll share an energizer. I'll share, okay. I will share a relationship builder. I'll share a new book. I'll put this video online in case anybody misses it. But what I wanted to do last was give you a chance to hopefully share a little bit. And so the way I'm going to do that is this is an activity we do here. Okay. So let me get rid of this. Okay. Go to my window here, pull this up. Okay. And this is the last thing I'll share with you today. Okay, so let me go back. This is a way we sometimes share with our students. Sasha will tell you, if Sasha was here, she would tell you this is not her favorite thing to do. She makes fun of this one, but I find it sometimes works. And it's the idea of asking a group to share a rose, which is something that's going well, a thorn, which is a challenge, and a bud, which is kind of the idea of something that has the potential to grow. And so what I thought I would ask us to do is, as we're kind of getting to the end here, is go and say, is there any success somebody would be willing to share? And you could do this in chat or you could do this live. A success that you're having in your classroom engaging students. Okay. Doesn't have to be anything brand new. Okay. And let me go and I'm gonna stop my share for a second, and I'm just gonna, if I could, I'll mute anybody who isn't muted right now and see if I can get rid of that background. Okay. And my apologies for doing that, but we were getting some kind of feedback to everybody there. Okay. And so now we don't have that feedback, but let me go back and share my screen. And what I wanted to offer the opportunity was, has anybody had a success that they would share with us? Doesn't have to be anything massive. It's just something that you're like, you know what? I'm trying this in my classroom and it's working well. Okay. And I'm going to stop my share so that I can see everything. But if somebody wanted to unmute and tell us one short sentence of something, okay. Feruza says she used the butterfly activity and some energizers, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. That's exciting. Okay. Anybody else? What's a success? What's a rose that you could say, yep, I'm feeling good about this. Building a tower. Cool. All right. I'm glad to hear that. And if you've had a week that was just one of those weeks where you're like, I don't have any roses this week, that's okay. I have weeks like that. Yep. But can anybody look back and say, because this might allow somebody in the group to say, oh, okay, I'd like to know more about that. Yep. Building a tower and making a map. Cool. Okay. And Nazira, I see that you're unmuted. Did you want to share something with us? Okay. The mosaic game. Okay. I'm not sure what the mosaic game is. Would you mind describing that to us? Just so I know what it is. You could unmute and tell us.
Yes, it's a game which consists of some parts. One big picture is divided into small pieces, and I divided my group. I divided my class into 2 groups, and like teams.
Yes.
And distribute 2 pictures. It also was handout like common picture, which they must construct. And this activity also involve all pupils, and it was very funny, and they tried to win.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, that sounds really engaging. I haven't tried. So you took a picture that you had and cut it in pieces? Is that so? It was more like
Yes.
you kind of made your own puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really creative. All right. Thanks for sharing that. All right. Sabahat, creative thinking is working really well. Would you mind talking about that at all? I'm curious what you said eco-friendly refrigerator and learning bugs DNA. You've got my attention. I'm curious. Any more you could say about that you'd be willing to try to describe for us? Okay, I see rockets, getting closely acquainted with students, getting to know them. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. And if you want to write it in chat, that's fine. I'm really curious to see, or if you wanted to do something and post it to the web, that would be cool. Yeah, because we've got that forum, and the forum
Maybe
is a great place.
Elvira, please share.
Good day or good evening for everyone. With primary grades, I try to use to make the rockets, and they like this game. And then I use the website STEM for Learning, and we watch the NASA cosmonaut who read about the next time you see a sunset and so on, and they liked this one, and then they did some rockets, and they tried to choose one planet, and then children like this game also, and this activity, it's nice description of the planets, and I use the cards also with the planets which they interested in, because there are a lot of information about the planets which we don't know, and that's why it was very wonderful and interesting. Thanks for sharing with the cards and tools with us. That's why it is essential and useful for our teaching in a new way, of course. Thanks, Mr. Alan.
Well, thank you, Elvira, because it's only useful if you try to use it. So thanks for using it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Hi everyone. If I spoke about my new activities, which I use it during my lessons, I mostly use all the activities which I have learned with you. I'm building tower, I can say, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which can count faster, and all the activities, and revolve or rotate. Even I tried to use this one. I have got such kind of lesson, and I give your question to my students, and they discuss it about that, and they finally found the answers. What is rotate? What is revolve? And they learned new words with exciting way. They liked it, all activities, and they all time they interested in coming to my lesson and being active participator in my lessons. They like it. Thank you. All new teaching way.
That's great. I'm excited to hear that some of that was useful for you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Anybody else want to share a little bit? I love hearing about what you're trying to do, and I think your colleagues do as well. All right. Well,
Um,
yep, go ahead.
good evening, everybody. Good morning, Alan. I'm Sabakat. I'm from the university. So I have written about the DNA, bugs DNA, and other things. So I wanted to share my experience with you if you are interested in. So I wanted to say that first, actually, we made rockets and we tried to fly to Mars, to any kind of planets, for example, Neptune. And then I said that I really want to go to Mars. I want to go to Mars with Elon Musk in his Falcon X. And one of my students said that it's impossible to come back to Earth. When you go to the Mars, you cannot come back to Earth. So then I said, I don't want to come back to Earth. I feel really good in Mars, actually. And it helps them to relax in the middle of the class, for example. That was really useful. And then we read the book, A Perfect Pet, and one of my students said that pets, actually the bug, has a really good immune system. For example, bugs, if you give some kind of pests against the bugs, for example, after some time, they can build immune and this pest cannot work well with them. So one of my students said, why don't we use bugs immune or bugs DNA to create a stable immune system in people, for example, against coronavirus? And I was actually really fascinated from their imagination, from their creativity, for example. And also one of the students said that after we have read the book about cars, she said that I wanted to create a refrigerator actually which is not harmful for the environment. We know that all kinds of refrigerator, they make carbon dioxide, and she wanted to create a refrigerator that can make not a carbon dioxide but an oxygen. I think they are actually really creative, but it's impossible to create these things, but they think about this.
Yeah,
That's all.
I love opportunities to get students thinking, right? Because if they think
Yes.
about things that are not possible, well, they're just not possible yet. And
Yeah.
those are kind of the ideas that build to great solutions. So that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Those are connections I've never had a student go into the bug's immune system. That's really neat.
Yes,
Yes.
they said this, and I was fascinated from their imagination, from their creativity. I always thought that this kind of things are impossible. For example, it takes lots of finance to create, for example, immune system. To create immune system for the people which can make, for example, can be, how can I say, they are stable. For example, if we are infected with coronavirus, our immune system can eat this coronavirus, for example. But they said that if the bugs are okay with pests, so people can be okay with coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This.
Yep. Well, those are some really great roses. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
excited. And
Yeah.
we'll look
Me
back at
too.
I saw in the note that you've tried something with Edison. Would you mind talking about just what you tried with the Edison at all? I'm really curious to hear.
I have one lesson. It's about programming. In that lesson, I just use Edison, what is the coding, because I use to write piece of code to the Edison, and after that run this code, how it is the code. I showed that this it has also some sensors and controller and microchips control that sensors, and to show it helps to show that how to work microchip, because it has that energy, that's the talk, and it's also control with the pin, because in top of the Edison we can see that microchip, small microchip, because programmers do the program for the microchips especially. That's why it is a good tools to show the students. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm excited, and that's a connection I always try to make for them too, is the kind of the pieces of it, right? It's more than just, it's really fun, but the more they can connect, that's fantastic and hard to do. It's complicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Thank you, Ulugh. Great job. Yeah.
yeah. Thanks. And thank you everyone who's willing to share. I think that makes us all, the ideas that really work will come from each other, I think, more than just from me. So let me go here and go back and share my screen a second. And curious, and I think we could probably just do this in the chat. What's a challenge you had this past week? We talk about the thorns. What are the things you're still trying to figure out? What is something you tried to engage kids? And doesn't have to be any, just what's the challenge you're trying to overcome in your classroom? I'm curious. I'll put mine there. My big thing is this time of year, my kids are all distracted by the holidays, and I can try to be as interesting as I want, but it's tough to compete with Santa Claus. Santa Claus and gifts and all that is far more interesting. Anybody else have a challenge this week? Reading stories, okay? Santa Claus too. Dec Moros is competing with us. Yeah.
So we started a new cohort of access. So we started just reading very basic elementary level. We started read alouds with them. So it's kind of a challenge that they are not sitting peer work, such stuff is new for them. So it's creating a kind of challenge for me. Maybe for the next week, they will be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
We
and
started 5th of December. It's kind of new for them, new atmosphere. We are using energizer activities. I think those Joanna's activities will help us. They will survive.
okay. Yep. Yep. And one thing I will do in every session is we're going to wrap up here fairly quickly, but I will stay on. And if there's a challenge you want to talk to me about, I'm happy to talk about them. We'll look at them here. I see that Sabohat's having some challenges with Edison Robot. Maybe I can help with that. But I won't try to do that with everybody on screen. But at the end, that kind of clues me in of, oh, let me see if I can help somebody. Or you can always reach out to me by email or through Telegram. Please feel free to shoot me a note and say, Alan, I tried this. It didn't work. Do you have any ideas? I'd love to be able to help brainstorm. Don't promise I have answers. Okay? Yep. All right. Well, let me go to the last thing that I wanted to do with us, which was not thorns, but what's an opportunity you see coming up in the next couple weeks? This week, maybe, next week, maybe you heard something from one of your classmates, okay, one of our colleagues here, but what's an opportunity? Okay. And again, I'll stop the share because I think I put the question out there. And if you want to put this in chat or if you want to share online, the opportunity I see is I'm starting a new group of third graders and they have real challenging behaviors. So I'm going to try to use energizers more frequently so I don't talk so much. I'm going to try to energize and then have an activity and then energize and try to hold their attention that way. Because I've got some kids who can pay attention for about 2 minutes and then I lose them. I don't know if you have students like that. I do. Okay. I'm excited. Would you rather might be useful. The STEM websites. Okay. I see building a maze for using the Edison robot. I don't know if that's a challenge or a new opportunity. Try would you rather. Good. I'm glad that's going to be potentially useful. I do find that it's nice to have little things like that. Yep. Building a maze. Okay. Yep. Energizer activities. Great. Okay. All right. Well, as you're trying things, again, please share them in the forum. Share them with us so we can all kind of benefit with that. Yeah. I do have a final question for us. And let me share my screen one more time. And that is right here. Get it? Okay. And that is, there's a picture of our Christmas tree that Joni put up. That's kind of an American tradition. Ours isn't a real tree. It's artificial. It's very nice looking, but it's fake. Those are plastic needles. But we decorate a tree. We put Christmas presents underneath it. We get together with family, and that's happening on December 25th. And from the 25th till right after New Year's, we don't have school. And so in a couple of weeks, I'm actually going to be traveling. So I wanted to propose, because I know you also have a New Year's break, that our next session together would be after that. And it could be January 7th, but I think you're off vacation the week before that. So I thought maybe January 14th would be the best. So I just wanted to kind of put that out for a vote for you and say, which is better, January 7th or January 14th? And I'll simply go with what the crowd desires. So if you'd like to have input, we've got one for the 7th, one for the 14th. I see another 14th. Oh, we're 2 for 2, 7th and 14th. I'm going to give it about a minute. We're 3 for 3.
January 7th is perfect, most of us, because it will be vacation and we'll have time. But after January 9th, we will start schooling
Okay.
time, and a lot of finals might start, final week. Yes. So that's why a
That's your
lot of
suggestion.
reading might be, yes.
Okay.
January 7th can be like.
It's certainly okay. It's okay for us because I'm back in school that week. I will be back from traveling. I'm going to go out to California to visit an aunt. So I've got a big trip, but I'm coming back on January 2nd and I'll have school. And so, and what we hope to do from that point would be have these every couple weeks. So we'd have one on, if we started on the 7th, we would do another one, say on the 21st, and then we could do, so about 2 a month was our plan until we come back in April. And if it looks like enough people could join us on the 7th, we'll do it on the 7th. If you are traveling, if it's your vacation, please do not call in from a wedding celebration. That's really dedicated, but I feel bad that Dilfuza called in and interrupted a great wedding celebration. So if you have a celebration going on the 7th, I'll record it and you can join us on the 14th, join us on the 21st at our next session. And that doesn't mean that you're not committed. It means that you have other obligations. So I'm going to take, and we'll try for the 7th, since it looks like at least half of us who are here this time could be there. And at this point, that was really all I planned to do today. So if you just want to give a nice shaka and say, I'm off to enjoy the rest of my Saturday night, it's wonderful to see you. if anybody wants to stay and ask me a question or talk to me, I will stay on as long as anybody wants to stay on, because it's my Saturday morning. So, but thank you for taking the time out of your Saturday night. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel appreciated that you would join us. So have a great Saturday. And
Thank
again,
you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Alan. Yeah.
You're
Thank you, Mr.
welcome.
Have
Alan.
a blessed day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You.
Mr. Alan.
Thank you. Did anyone have a question? Did anybody want to chat about anything, or are we? Because you can just hit end, just hit leave, and you don't have to stay on with me. Please do not feel like you got to be the last one to leave. As teacher, I've given you permission to walk out the door. Anyone have a question you'd like to ask me?
No, next time we make a list of questions for you.
Okay. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Maybe I should send out a note beforehand and get some questions and come prepared to answer them. I like that idea. I'll take note of that. That way I can be prepared for that. That's a good idea.
Thank you, Mr. Alan. Have a blessed day.
All
We're
right.
glad to see you, and thank you for your timing for us.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Well, I look forward to
Thank
seeing
you.
you all in 2023. It'll be next year when I see you again. All right. Well, if
Okay.
there's no
Thank you,
questions,
Mr. Alan. Happy New Year.
thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think I'll go ahead and end the session then, so we can all get on with our evening, okay? All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
До свидания. До
До
встречи.
свидания.
Until we meet again.
Увидимся.
All right.